Sri Surya Sharma ji. Please unmute. Sorry, please mute. Coordinator of AMFI, my colleagues from Department of Economics, from Katlichara College, who is the organizing institution of this particular program, and my colleague from Department of Economics, Assam University, Dr. Ritik Majumdar. Dear participants, friends, it is indeed a wonderful opportunity for me to be here in this meaningful webinar on financial empowerment through wealth creation. To start with, let me quote from Keynes. I quote, "The political problem of mankind is to combine three things: economic efficiency, social justice, and individual liberty," unquote. I think these are the fundamental issues which are very relevant in the context of financial empowerment. That is the feeling of being in control of our own financial situation. When we feel this kind of empowerment, we feel that we control our financial situation and not the other way around. And it is in this context we require to set our financial goals for both short term and long term, make a budget and stick to it. I'm talking about the individual budget, then build an emergency and fund by putting money away from month into a saving account, pay off our debt, pay off our bills on time, save for retirement, and all this. And these correlates with wealth creation, which is basically generating wealth through a variety of methods using financial products. When we invest in financial products for a long time, we get higher return. And there are n number of examples of wealth creation goods, which can include our saving money for a new car, saving for down payment of for a new house, and so on. And these set goals, the development of plans and strategies, which are required to achieve our goals, the strategic goals in creating wealth. These are the fundamental issues which needs to be propagated, which needs to be actually taken into maximizing the value of our own philanthropical aims also. Basically, what I mean to say that to accumulate wealth over time, we need three important things: make money, save money, and invest money. And these are three-dimensional correlated with each other. Investment increase by increase generating income or by growing in value. And India has been traditionally a nation of savers. We are indeed fortunate to be Indian. We have managed to spend less than our income and since time immemorial, and save maximum possible amount out of regular income for securing our future. This has also required postponement of certain current consumption for better future. We are indeed habituated with this ethos of traditions in our families. In early days, if we look at our parents, they actually depended more on pension as the norm, which was the norm for post-retirement livelihood. Now, this concept of a secure employment, secure pension-based employment, which played major role, such as government organization, public sector undertakings in earlier days, which has shifted to employment, where a person working today has to depend on the savings made from our own salaries. I mean that I am also a part of it, part of national pension scheme. At the same time, our women, they are actively savers since time immemorial again, which are the broader basket of our cultural and traditional family ethos. And Indian women are actively savers, taking charge of their money with a major percentage of their savings, managing their finances and all that. I just quote from a survey report by Scriptbox, a provider of online financial surveys. They have conducted a survey in the month of February 2020. Over 600 women respondents across the country. And they have come up with a very interesting finding that only less than 10% of women leave the financial decision to male members of the family, and they emerged as a savvy investor too, challenging the common misconception of women save, men invest. With a growing and active appreciation of owning their money, a majority of 64% of respondents of that particular survey said that they would like to advise their youngers to start investing early and make it their business to understand personal finance and investing. Further, 31% of that women respondents, said money management should be part of school curriculum and pedagogy need to be prepared accordingly. And nearly 20% cited the importance of having open this particular financial management so that everyone can be aware of their financial management. Now, making money can be destroying wealth, while creating wealth can be losing money. When we say this particular context, now a thorough understanding of our wealth creation, it is very essential because it enables us to sharpen our economic critique of fashionable and short-sighted management paradigm. Now, in India, if you look at the gross saving rate, which is very comfortable, it was around 30% in 2020. Now it is around 28.2% in March 2021. And this gross saving rate, which is comfortable and comparable with many developed countries of the world. And over the last couple of years, we have seen during the last 2 years, mainly in this pandemic period, there has been a big push towards digital payments literacy. And the same channels that which we used for financial inclusion and digital payments, this can be used to promote financial literacy. In fact, these are being used as an important component of financial literacy. Now, individuals on their part, they should budget, as I said, as I emphasized again and again, ensure that they keep aside at least 30% of their take-home income for investment for rainy days, because we are very much concerned about our rainy days. We Indians are very much concerned about our rainy days. That is why our saving rates are very, very comfortable. At least half of this should be in the long-term investment, which can be accessed through only 20, 30 years later. And the best way to do this by automating investments, our investments. Now, companies also need to take financial wellness seriously. Almost all companies, those they have tie-ups with banks and financial institutions, and for discounted loans, and this should be more proactive. Now, an investor should first think and ensure adequate life insurance, reasonable medical insurance cover, and emergency fund before embarking upon a journey of wealth creation. And we should look at real return and not on nominal or notional returns, as inflation and tax liability substantially takes away a major portion of that. Now, to me personally, I believe that mutual funds are the best option, and I am a regular contributor to mutual fund channels through different variety of funding options. And it is that particular channels of investment where the minimum amount you can start with even rupees 500 to systematic investment plan. And over the years, I find it very, very interesting and very, very worthy in building, in creating wealth. It is always necessary not to invest our hard-earned money on the advice of middlemen, on the advice of lenders, money lenders, private traders, because we have seen in India that these players actually counter active in rural area, even in urban areas also. And we are experienced to many chit fund societies, chit fund organizations, which collapsed over time. And our memories, I personally also affected as a result of this collapse of the chit fund organizations. And as a result, this awareness is very, very important. And once in these channels, those who are very aware people, conscious people, we actually gain capacity build, we actually gain confidence, we actually gain knowledge. Then I can actually transmit this through our interaction with our neighbors, with our society, with our community per se. And that is why this particular program is very, very meaningful. And I wish that this particular program on financial empowerment through wealth creation, that will be a very meaningful webinar. We have a wonderful speaker, Sri Sharma ji from AMFI, who is a senior counselor. And I have listened to him on earlier occasion also. And he's a wonderful speaker. And our participants from across different institutions, they will be more benefited. I personally also will be benefited from this particular webinar. And I congratulate Katlichora College, SK College, Katlichora, for organizing this meaningful webinar. They have taken up this challenge. I know that being a rural institution, they face the problem of connectivities and all that, but they have taken up the challenge for organizing this webinar. 175 participants, they have already joined in this particular webinar. And I will end up with one particular observation, that we must ensure that the potential of this financial management, financial management per se, is to be harnessed, and the wealth we create, it endows our nation with value and socio-economic certainties. And India, with its communitarian ethos has large potential to contribute to the society building and nation building. Namaskar. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving your valuable speech, inaugural speech, sir. Sir, we are very sorry that at the very beginning, due to network issues, we could not start with this introduction and welcome speech. So we again feel apologize because of this network issue, but you have covered in your inaugural speech everything, details about the mutual fund, importance of financial education, importance of financial empowerment, and all these things. Thank you once again very much, sir, for your nice presentation and nice deliberation. Sir, so again, we would like to, as per our program schedule, here again, I would like to welcome all of you in this national webinar. So now I would like to request the convener, Mr. Supriyo Majumdar, sir, HOD of our economics department, Asgard College, to give a welcome speech on this particular days. So I request Mr. Supriyo Majumdar, sir, please give your welcome speech so that all the participants as well as our resource person and guest will get the honors. So over to you, sir. Supriyo Majumdar, sir.
Thank you very much. Very good afternoon, everybody. National webinar on financial empowerment through wealth creation has been jointly organized by Department of Economics, Asgard College Katlichhora, and Publication and Research Consultancy Cell, IQAC Asgard College Katlichhora, in collaboration with Association of Mutual Fund of India. Actually, financial empowerment is very essential for everyone of society, for happy and prosperous life in society. Without financial empowerment, nobody of us can live a happy life. We cannot fulfill our future needs and dreams and also the present needs. Financial empowerment makes us stressless, so it is very important for everybody of us. We can be financially empowered by various illegal activities, but this type of empowerment will not make us stress-free. So financial empowerment for illegal activities is not desirable. Financial empowerment means the feeling of being in control of our own financial situation. When we are financially empowered, we feel that we can control our financial situation and not the other way around. Financial empowerment is possible through wealth creation. Wealth creation means building wealth through a variety of methods using financial product. When we invest a financial product for a long period, we shall get back a return. Thus, we will be financially empowered. Wealth creation is necessary because it provides us money to fulfill our future needs. It offers a steady flow of income even when we are no longer employed or working. Proper wealth creation makes us able to face any challenge of financial crisis in future. Wealth creation is possible in various ways, such as first thing is by increasing our income, which may be possible by taking a high-paying job or by doing profitable business successfully. We can increase our income by doing side business. Our income can be increased by improving our skill. It is very important. Without improving our skill, we cannot get a high-paying job. The second way to create wealth creation is savings. It is very important, for which we need to have a proper budget and proper accounts of our income and expenditure. Without savings, wealth creation is not possible at all. The third most important thing is proper investment of our savings. We can invest our savings in a stock market. We can invest our savings in real estate, etc. Today, we are very fortunate to have with us a number of distinguished persons to discuss the topics. We have with us Dr. Ritwik Majumdar, Associate Professor, Department Economics, Assam University, Silchar; Professor Niranjan Roy, Department Economics, Assam University, Silchar; Sri Surya Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI, frame; and former DGM SEBI. So I would like to welcome Dr. Ritik Majumdar, Professor Niranjan Roy, and Mr. Sharma, and I convey my heartfelt gratitude and thankfulness to them. I would also like to convey my thankfulness to Sri Rajan Singh, Principal IC, Asgard College, Katlichora, and Dr. Uday Shankar Chakraborty, Coordinator, IQSC, Asgard College, Katlichora, for providing free hand support and help to arrange this program. I would like to congratulate Dr. Monish Roy and Dr. Mani Gupta, Assistant Professor, Department Economics, Asgard College, Katlichora, for taking a lot of pains to arrange this program. Finally, I would like to welcome all the participants of this webinar. There are a huge number of participants today with us. In today's participants, there are faculties of various universities, colleges, and other educational institutions of all over the country. There are a huge number of scholars and students, and also many industrialists are also there. So I feel myself honored to welcome all the participants of today's webinar. So I will stop here, taking no more times, and we are eagerly waiting to hear from our today's resource persons. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving a very warm welcome speech. So now I would like to invite and request Dr. Ritik Majumdar, sir, guest of honor, for his for his guest of honor speech. So before that, I would like to give a brief introduction of Dr. Ritik Majumdar, sir. Dr. Ritik Majumdar, sir, is an associate professor of economics at Assam University, Silchar. He acquired his master in 2000 and MPhil in 2003 and PhD in 2008 in economics from the University of Bardhaman, West Bengal. He currently teaches quantitative methods that includes econometrics as well as mathematical economics. Besides, he has been a passionate teacher of Indian economic policy, especially macroeconomic policy meant particularly for graduate students. During the early years of his career, his research focused on efficiency and productivity measurement in both agriculture and Indian industries. Later, after joining Assam University in 2004, Sir has his research interest covered extremely diverse socio-economic issues, starting from human development and quality of life, scheduled northeastern tribes of India, crime against women and its macro level determinants, finally ranging up to a recreational value of national parks in Assam. Being resultantly people-centric in thought and ideology, his other significant research contributions include studies on efficiency in open access fishing, school infrastructure, locational remoteness, and learning outcomes in state-run primary school and socio-economic determinants of crime against women in India. His currently enthusiasm regarding COVID-19 related issues has motivated him to write popular columns on state-level socio-economic determinants of COVID infection in India with Prantap Basu of Durham Business School, Durham University, UK. Till date, he has successfully guided 9 candidates for the PhD and 1 candidate from MPhil from Assam University. So I am also very fortunate enough to say that Dr. Ritik Majumdar, sir, is my direct teacher, and he is also my guide and supervisor of PhD. So I once again invite him and request him to deliver his address. So over to you, sir.
So yes, thank you, Manish. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Monish Roy, Assistant Professor from Katlichora College, the institution that is organizing today's meeting. First of all, the President of this meeting, Shri K. Rajan Singh, the Principal of SKRI College, Katlichora, the Chief Guest of today's meet, Professor Niranjan Roy, my colleague, you might say the principal engine of growth of the Department of Economics, Assam University, a very big motivator, and what a speech he gave today, and what an outstanding coverage of every aspect of what we are about to discuss, and Sharmaji is about to train us. Professor Roy has basically covered almost everything that comes under today's umbrella. And obviously, Mr. Supriya Majumdar, Dr. Monish Roy, Dr. Manik Gupta, all other dignitaries, and last but not the least, Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI, for whom we are all waiting to hear, from whom we are all waiting to hear. And remember, he is also a former DGM of SEBI, so that makes this meet very, very important. And as Professor Roy was saying, that this is a very, very important meet, a very important training session for beginners, for youngsters, for students, for faculty members, for everyone here. So if I am allowed, I am going to switch over to a small presentation. And can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
No, sir, it is not visible. Right now, it is coming out. Yes, sir. Yes, we can visible. We can see your slide, sir.
Okay, but you can see, I think you can see the first slide. Can you see the first slide right now?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay, but when I switch to full screen mode, now can you see the full screen mode?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay, okay. It means that slide transition could be an issue. But you can see, are the slides changing, Monish?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes.
slides are changing correctly?
Yes, yes. Yes. Sir.
Okay, which means the full screen somehow is not working. Okay, let me try in this mode itself. So welcome, dear participants, and my pranam and namaskar to all dignitaries. So as touched upon by Professor Niranjan Roy, and rightly said that this is a very, very important meet. And let me, continuing with his trail of thoughts, give you two quotations or quotes, one by Pamela Carmichael and the other by Margaret Bonanno. So first one, for money to remain a valuable resource, you must master it, see its usefulness, and use it effectively. A very important word. And being rich is having money, being wealthy is having time. This is another very, very vital aspect in today's discussion or forum. So dear participants, financial empowerment is all about setting financial goals, okay, and building and executing a plan to maintain your chosen standard of living and having a strategy to handle unexpected financial challenges, as already touched upon by Professor Roy. Financial empowerment is a new approach to poverty reduction that focuses on improving the financial security of low and middle income people. So it provides support that help people to acquire and practice the financial skills and behaviors that tangibly improve their financial outcomes and build their financial security and stability. So Mr. Supriya Majumdar touched upon a very vital point when he was introducing this particular session. The basic aspect, dear participants, is acquiring skills, especially I'm talking to young participants. You have to acquire the fundamental skills, right? And possibly multiple skills. Say, you may be good at economics, commerce, basic accounting and other skills, but you may have a second skill. You may be a good painter, you can be a good singer, somebody can play the guitar well, somebody the tabla. You can have multiple skills. It's not that your skills are going to be unidirectional, okay? So the moment you have multiple skills, you have the avenue of multitasking. Please make each skill count. Whatever you know, use your brain till the point you are physically fit and active. Make every skill count. That is very important. Now have the mental strength and will means willpower, to take systematic or calculated risks at a young age, when you are young. Remember one basic rule: the older we are, the more risk averse we become. It is a very, very fundamental rule. Now, there is a particular framework for financial empowerment. See, I am not an investor, neither am I, you might say, mutual fund manager or a fund handler and so on. So those technicalities, Sharma ji will train us very soon. But let me give you some basics. Financial information, education, and counseling. This is a very fundamental pillar in this framework. Moreover, our job is to help accessing income boosting benefits and tax credit. So that's a second pillar. Safe and affordable financial products and services. And you have to have information regarding that. The third pillar. The fourth pillar, access to savings and asset building opportunities. Okay. And number five is consumer awareness and protection. All these five are almost equally important. But dear participants, developing countries, nations like us, suppose India, we have key hurdles that we face. Not only us, all developing countries, countries of South Asia, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and so on. In this region, number one, we have low financial literacy. This is a very important point. So building financial literacy doesn't come for free. It doesn't come to you automatically. You have to train yourself. Second, poor access to neutral and relevant financial information. Professor Niranjan Rai had just now touched upon this particular issue. You must have access to neutral and relevant financial information. See, the investor or your fund manager may teach you, may give demos on something else, which are relatively less important, and on something else, but not touch something which is more important. So poor access to neutral financial information is very, very vital. So inability to afford neutral and relevant financial counseling and advice, that is another aspect. Individual systematic barriers to accessing mainstream financial services. It always happens in poor nations. Low or non-existent savings. That is a very big thing. Professor Roy touched upon that you have to save. Without savings, you can't have wealth. Savings, income and savings are both flows, as you know, student of economics and commerce. They are flows, but wealth is a stock. So savings has to be converted to a stock. So the flow must come to a bucket, okay, or a tank or a reservoir. So your reservoir is the stock, while flow is your savings. Savings has to be converted into wealth. That is a big challenge. High household debt to income levels. Dear participants, this is another very, very big issue in developing countries. Household debts are huge quite often, and debt to income ratio becomes low. No, or actually negative household net worth. That is another issue. Low credit scores, failures to file taxes. We are improving. Remember, India is improving very fast since 2014-15 in tax filing and formalizing the economy. And lack of awareness or difficulty accessing government benefits. So where are we? Dear participants, what are our fundamental goals through financial empowerment? The channel that we are discussing today is wealth creation. What is your fundamental objective? The key objectives that we have in mind are, obviously, we have to reduce poverty and raise our purchasing power. That's fundamental. Okay. For how long are we going to remain poor? Psychologically connect people with a viable and hopeful future. That is, you can't remain disconnected from your mainstream. Increase personal efficacy and social influence. So when you are empowered, you have that inner mental strength in you to lead the society from the front. Improve households' overall stability. See, when we were young, and even today, you hear a very old saying, when poverty knocks at the door, love flies out of the window. Let me generalize this particular issue. You see, overall stability. when you are financially powerful and stable, you also have psychological stability, you have social stability. Not only do you have command over resources, you have command over fellow citizens. That is very important, to lead from the front. Reduce dependence on government. This is, dear participants, this is another very important dimension. Because you see, I'm not saying that the government has no role in development. Yes, the government has a tremendous role in governance and development, both. But government has, you have to reduce your dependence on the government. Government cannot address each and every issues regarding your income, savings, wealth generation, and wealth creation. It depends on your will, your skill. Finally, women empowerment. Through small savings generated or converted into wealth, as Professor Roy mentioned, statistically, the statistics he was giving us today is very important. It is women who basically acts as the driving force of the household, both in terms of wealth creation, wealth generation, savings generation, and so on. Okay. Finally, a macro goal. As a teacher of economics, I have to tell you this. The moment you become economically empowered, there is growth of consumption, there is growth of saving, there is wealth and capital formation in your economy, and all of these have multiplier effects on GDP. And hence, all of this taken together lead to long-run GDP growth. So, because we are about to hear from Sharma ji, Shaktikant Sharma ji, let me rather end the issues here today. I thank you. I thank the organizers. I thank all the participants for having the patience to listen to me. As I told you, I've spoken from a more fundamental perspective of what should be the background or the platform on which wealth has to be created, generated, and saved for future well-being. I'm ending with a quotation. When money realizes that it is in good hands, it wants to stay and multiply in those hands. This is a very fundamental saying, and I thank all of you, especially the organizers, for calling me here and for making me a part of this program. As Professor Roy mentioned, it's a very important program, and I welcome you on behalf of the program organizers once again. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for inspiring and encouraging us with your valuable words on this national webinar. So right now, we will have presidential address by the chairman, K. Rajan Singh, principal in charge of Eskarai College, Katlichora. But unfortunately, due to ongoing examination of B.Ed as well as TDC, sir could not join in this webinar, but sir has conveyed his best wishes and presidential notes for this program. So I would like to request IPC coordinator, Dr. Uday Shankar Chakraborty, sir, to read out the presidential notes on behalf of our principal, sir. So over to you, Dr. Uday Shankar, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Munish Roy. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Thank you. Well, this is Uday Shankar Chakraborty. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to read out the presidential notes from K. Rajan Singha, our principal in charge. A very good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, highly skilled resource persons for today's webinar, esteemed participants from all across the country, my dear colleagues and my dear students, the entire team of organizers for today's national webinar, and all others connected to and present here on this Zoom platform. The theme for today's national webinar is Financial Empowerment Through Wealth Creation, a theme which I'm sure would enthuse all the participants present here. And the same goes for me also. Well, personally speaking, I belong to the Department of Political Science, and so I am not much adept in the matters of economics. Still, as far as I understand, financial empowerment is the feeling of being in control of one's own financial situation. When one feels this kind of empowerment, one feels that one controls one's financial situation and not that one is controlled by the financial situation or financial constraints. Now, the question arises in the first place as to why financial empowerment is important in an individual's life. Well, it comes to improving our finances. Well, when it comes to improving our finances, many of us, or if I may say so, most of us, look specifically at the economic component. But economic aspect is not all of it. It is only, as they say, one piece of the puzzle. The experts in the fields of economic and financial researches say that other than the economic component, the emotional component of personal finances is just as important in this regard. When people feel more financially empowered, they feel more confident in making decisions to change the trajectory of their lives. This may perhaps go some way towards enhancing their emotional quotient in the long run. Webinars on themes such as we have today will definitely prove beneficial for people in getting a clearer and better perspective of financial empowerment in their day to day life. My best wishes for the success of today's webinar. On behalf of the entire team of today's national webinar, I once again welcome all the esteemed participants and resource persons. Thank you all. Over to you, Dr. Monish Roy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, to read out the presidential notes and sending the message on behalf of our principal, sir. So without further ado, we are very much eagerly waiting our eminent key resource person. And now I would like to invite and request the eminent resource person on today's webinar, Surya Sharma, sir. So before that, I would like to introduce that Surya Sharma, sir, is a commerce graduate and master's in law LLM with specialization in corporate laws. He is also chartered associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Sri Sharma sir has over 35 years of experience in banking and finance and security markets and has served in a leading financial institution. Thereafter, in the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and finally in Security and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI. Sharma sir has joined Security and Exchange Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 15 years in different departments of SEBI. Lastly, in addition to other assignments, Sir was DGN in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI, Northeastern region, for more than 5 years. Sharma sir was a member of working group of NCERT for developing vocational courses on mutual funds for the student of 11th and 12th classes. Sharma sir also is a mentor of a few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. When he was in SEBI, under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addresses as guest speaker in more than 600 investor awareness programs. After superannuation from SEBI in 2019, he has joined Association of Mutual Fund in India and apex body of mutual fund in India as senior consultant for spreading financial literacy and investor awareness among citizens. Since May 2020, Sharma sir has interacted with more than 1 lakh investors and potential investors, to particular students, through more than 300 webinars in reputed government organizations, educational and professional institutions, corporates and startups, NGOs and other across countries. So I really welcome Dr. Sharma sir to give your valuable speech. So over to you, Sharma sir.
Thank you, Dr. Manish Roy. Thank you very much. I am honestly honored to be with you, with all of you. I am thankful to Honorable Principal of the college, other dignitaries, other organizing team members for giving me opportunity. Sorry, I couldn't hear the experts' advice of earlier speakers. I was busy in some other meeting. I could get the glimpses of last few slides of Professor Ritwik Majumdar, and honestly, I am privileged and honored that you have invited people like Dr. Ritwik Majumdar and other speakers who speak on the subject. But I am a student. I am not honestly speaking, to be honest with you, I am a student of finance. I am not an expert of finance. So I will talk as a student. I will try to connect with the students as if I am also one part of them. So take it that way only. So my session would be as simple as I can. I will not make it a technical session using a lot of jugglery and all these things. I want to connect with the participants. That's my purpose of joining your program here. Secondly, this program is for the participants. So I would be very happy if the students can have a one pen and notebook with them, and they can note down anything they found, new idea or a new information in my session. Because Dr. Roy, you will agree with me that we wouldn't be having much time. So I will try to touch briefly most of the important topics connected to the subject. But they have got luxury and privilege nowadays. They can get the more detailed information through websites and Google. Every information is available. We all know on websites and Google. So they can explore those information in detail if they wish so. And thirdly and lastly, Mr. Manish Roy, I would be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that I have been able to connect with them, firstly. And secondly, they have got a lot of doubts and query about the subject. They ought to be. Naturally, they ought to be. So I will invite them that they should be free and frank in asking as much questions as they have in their mind with regard to the subject, with regard to personal finance management. One more thing, that this program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, which is an apex body of mutual funds in India. But my dear participants, it is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. I want to make it very clear. Of course, I will share some basic information about the mutual funds, but it is not my intention to encourage people to invest in mutual funds, because they should invest, but only when they are comfortable with. This is my request to all of you. And Mr. Manish Roy, I would be very happy if at least 4 or 5 videos from your organizing team members are on, so that I can feel that I'm connected to somebody. If all videos are off, sometimes a feeling creeps in. Professor Dr. Chakravarti, you will appreciate that sometimes a feeling creeps in to whom we are talking to. So it is natural that if Namaskar, sir. Namaskar, Majumdar, sir. I am very honored, sir, to see you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, please. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So, simply speaking, what is financial empowerment? I have, Professor Majumdar, I have just mentioned that I am a student, I am not an expert of finance. So I will speak in a most simple language as I can, and so on. I am connected with the students. From my perspective, financial empowerment is the money, is a state of affairs that I should have money when I need it. That is financial empowerment. And it is the basic requirement of every individual to have reasonable money in their life. And financial empowerment can be achieved only and only through wealth creation. That is also, I feel, is the crux of the success of investment. So you have to create wealth. You have to create wealth. But before creation of wealth, Mr. Roy, I personally feel as an individual that we should first think about the security, because there are two aspects of money. Money gives us security and money also gives us prosperity. And prosperity, Professor Majumdar, normally includes basic needs, comfort and luxury, all. So prosperity is a bigger word, bigger terminology, but to be true to the importance of money, I should have money to take care of my basic needs, roti, kapda, makan, normally we talk it. Then some comfort, reasonable house, reasonable vehicle, and taking care of education of children and all these things. And then, of course, we as a human being will definitely like to enjoy our life, a little bit of luxury as well in our life. So that is the third stage of the need of the money. But as I just mentioned, Dr. Chakravarti, money also gives us security. But when money gives us security? Money gives us security only and only when we have plenty of money. Because if I have in my bank account 5,000, 5 lakhs rupees, I will not feel secure. But when one day, and of course I pray Dr. Chakravarti will have 100 crore in his bank account, then he will feel secure. No, Baba, no problem at all now. I have got 100 crores in my bank account. I am now secured. If anything happens to me or my family, I will take care of with that of money. Dr. Chakravarti was smiling when I mentioned about 100 crore rupees, because he and even I know very well that not salary class people wouldn't have that much of money in our life, in our bank account. It is a fact of our life. So how we can develop security? And I feel, Professor Majumdar, that security is rather more important for a human being than prosperity. So we should first think about the security. And I feel every individual who is earner, and your students may not be earner today, but going to earn very soon. Every individual who is earner must do or must develop these three things in her or her life at the beginning of their career. Of course, we were not honestly aware of these things, but now the things are changing, Professor Majumdar, and it is my duty first to talk about the security. So every individual who is earner must do these three things in his or her life at the beginning of their career, maximum within 2 or 3 years. The first one is he or she should have adequate life insurance cover. And again, I repeat, I am talking about security only. Prosperity aspect we will talk afterwards. Every individual must have adequate life insurance cover. What is the purpose of life insurance cover we should have? Why we should have? Because Dr. Chakravarti, we all know very well that life is pretty uncertain. I'm talking to you today. I'm not certain about tomorrow, but of course we may live for next 100 years, but if we are not certain about tomorrow. That uncertainty sometimes, or rather most of the time, gives us a feeling of fear, in the sense that if something happens to me, what will happen to my family? Today, my family is okay. They are enjoying. My kids are taking education. I'm taking care of all their basic needs, even some comfort, all these things. Only because I am here and I am earning, and more so, Professor Majumdar, when I am the sole earner of the family. That is more important when I am the sole earner of the family. Wow. So for that, to take care of that uncertainty of fear side, I feel personally that we should, one individual must have adequate life insurance cover, that in case something happens to me, I am not available to them because of that tomorrow. At least my family will not face financial problems. Of course, emotional problems will be there, social problems, immense problems will be there. But the immediate task would be to take care of their monthly expenses. Immediate task might be of the continuation of the education of the children, all other family obligations. For that purpose, we should take adequate life insurance cover. And you are very lucky, Dr. Chakravarti and Mr. Manish Roy. Nowadays, a very genuine insurance product is available in the market, which was not available, at least in my times. Earlier, Professor Majumdar might agree with me that we had money back and endowment insurance cover. That was basically saving linked insurance cover. We were indirectly we were encouraged to save and side by side have also insurance cover. But nowadays, but that is not true insurance product as far as my knowledge goes. But nowadays, a very true insurance product is available, Mr. Roy, and that is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. You can go into the details and know the other nuances of this term insurance. Because in term insurance, Dr. Majumdar, and a young person can have a reasonable, adequate life insurance cover by paying a very, very small amount, which was not available to us at that time. If a person of the age of 25 to 30 years, Mr. Manish Roy, which you are today, you can take a life insurance cover of around 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 500 or 600 rupees. But in my case, in those days, if I had even dreamt for taking 1 crore rupees, premium would have run into thousands and thousands of rupees, which was not possible me to do. But nowadays it is possible. It is pure. That is why I am telling you it is a pure insurance product, and don't link insurance with the investment or savings. Keep it separate. Keep it separate. That is the best way of taking care of security and prosperity. So kindly take adequate life insurance cover. And what is the definition of adequacy, Dr. Bhatt? It should be minimum 20 times of your annual income. Suppose, Mr. Manish Rai, your annual income is 20 lakhs. Then ideally you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees, which is practically possible only through term insurance, not through money back and endowment. So firstly, kindly consider taking adequate life insurance cover. And here again, life insurance cover is directly related to your age. Early you take, lesser will be the premium. Generally people keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance cover. Manish Roy sir say, I am very young. Why I should take life insurance cover at this age? Let it be. I will take after 5 years or 10 years. No, my dear sir. It is a wrong thinking. You should take life insurance cover. And Professor Majumdar, nowadays, top-up facility in life insurance cover is also available. Top-up simply means initially you may take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees, but down the line after 5 or 10 years, you feel that it has become inadequate because of your income, increase in income and all these things. You can top it up from 1 crore to 2 crore. That facility, lot of things are happening nowadays which were not available in our times. Rather, we were not aware at all. So first thing is kindly take adequate life insurance cover for securing your family. That will give a indirect confidence and security to your family. Again, the life insurance cover purpose is very limited, that in case of some eventuality, your family should not face financial problems. This is the first thing. Second thing, Dr. Chakravarti, is every family must have adequate health insurance cover. And normally people get confused. Normal people, they say that I have taken life insurance cover. Why I should take health insurance cover? But my dear participants, both are totally different and distinct. The purpose of life insurance cover is to give assurance to the family that even when I am not available to you, at least you will not face least financial problem rather. But in the case of health insurance cover, Manish Roy sir, that in case something happens to me, all of a sudden, some accident or a disease might be discovered all of a sudden, and I have to rush to the hospital, where I will go, Manish sir? Unfortunately, of course it is pathetic, but unfortunately, governmental health system in our country is not up to mark. That is why we will be forced to go to the private hospitals. We would not like, but forced to go, because everybody wants the best treatment at that juncture. Where we will go? Private hospitals. But there the story is different, Manish Rai sir. They charge exorbitantly. If a person remain in a private hospital for 10-15 days, they may raise a bill of more than 10 lakhs. From where that money will come? If I don't have health insurance cover, I might have to borrow it from one of my friends or relations, or might withdraw my deposits or savings wherever I have. and that will be very painful. So to avoid that, you simply can develop health insurance cover for yourself, that in case of some medical emergency, I can go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That's the purpose of health insurance cover. And Dr. Chakravarti, nowadays, a unique health insurance product is available in the market, which is called floater health insurance. I'm just mentioning the name. Lot of insurance companies are offering different products. You can go into the detail and then select the product you find best. Floater health insurance cover, it is also called umbrella health insurance cover. And Professor Majumdar knows it very well. The uniqueness of this product is that in one singular health insurance cover, not only I am covered, I can cover my spouse, I can add on my kids, even I can add on my parents. So in one singular policy, my whole family members are covered. If any medical emergency arises with any of them, we can go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That's the purpose of developing health insurance cover for the family. And for both the health insurance cover and a life insurance cover premium, Dr. Chakravarti, income tax rebate is also allowed under section 80C and a different section, but that is an incidental benefit only. It is the benefit of life insurance cover and health insurance cover is much bigger than availing income tax rebate. You must avail if you are in a position to avail, but don't. Generally, people give you advice that, sir, you will also get income tax deduction under it. So that is only an incidental benefit. Third thing I want to request about, again, I am still up to security only. Third thing is, kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs for your family. Why I am saying, Manish Roy, sir? You are very lucky. Your job might have continued during pandemic. You have continued to get salary. But at the same time, Majumdar sir, we are all aware that lakhs of people had lost their job. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their salaries. Businesses were closed. Professions were closed for months together, for years together rather. And lakhs of people have passed through a very tough time financially, because it was not expected. We had not even thought of it, that something that this time will come, that we will be confined to our homes for months together. So, and again, virus has not gone. Pandemic is still there. And moreover, a new virus may come in the future, new disease may come in the future. That uncertainty has also loomed large now. So for taking care of that uncertainty, every family must develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs, that in case such situation arises in future, at least I am able to take care of my monthly family expenses for next 1 year. That's the purpose of developing an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Of course, Majumdar sir, 5 to 7 lakhs is not a small amount for all of us, but over a period of time, maybe in 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, we can develop it. But once we develop it, we have to make it a commitment and a promise with ourselves, taking our family into confidence, that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except for the emergency which may arise in our family. That commitment, otherwise temptation will always be there with Dr. Chakravarti. Dada, you have 5 lakhs rupees, go on vacations, celebrate something. Naturally, it is very natural. It's very natural. But that discipline we have to develop, that at least this amount we will not enjoy for any other purpose, and it is kept only for taking care of emergencies. These 3 things, if we do, Professor Majumdar, particularly young people, I am telling you, Dr. Chakravarti and Manish Roy, at least the security aspect is over. Now you can think about prosperity. Now you should start thinking about of course, prosperity is very important. But why I took the security aspect first, Majumdar sir, because I feel personally that first we should develop security. And once security aspect is in place, then we should think about the prosperity. Now we come to the prosperity. And prosperity simply means, as I just mentioned in the beginning, Manish Rai sir, I have money when I need it. That is financial empowerment. And how we can develop it. The basic source of money for the middle class, salary class person, Majumdar sir, you will agree with me, for all of us is salary which we get from our employer. In your case, your college, your university, or your college. So those who are middle class, salary class person, their main source of money is the salary which we get. And what we do with the salary, as the last slides Majumdar sir was mentioning, we Indians have a unique DNA, sir. It is DNA, it is your DNA. And that is the greatest thing, I think, personally. We all Indians try sincerely to take away some money from our salary which we earn. Even a person who is earning 10,000 a month will sincerely try to take away 500 or 600 rupees. Sincerely try. May not be possible, but sincerely try to take away some money. And those who are getting good salary can easily save them, can take away some money. And the money which we don't use for our monthly or regular expenses, and take it away, that is simply called savings. So we are all savers. And Majumdar sir is a professor, he knows it very well, that Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. Still we as a community, we as a country, we as a citizens, we are one of the best savers in the world. So saving, I am nobody to give the importance of saving, because we all know we are all savers. But two things I want to tell Manish Rai sir, to you particularly, and those, of course, I'm not excluding Dr. Chakravarti. You are equally young, and otherwise all are young. Try to identify an amount of saving out of your income. And Professor Majumdar sir, I'm not prescribing that it should be 20. Generally, people do prescribe, you should save 20%, you should save 30%. What I am saying is, kindly identify an amount of saving out of your income which you can comfortably save. Suppose Manish Rai sir says that he is earning 50,000 a month and his monthly expenses are around 40,000. And what he indirectly is saying is that he can save 10,000. Manish Rai sir, my request is very simple but emphatic. Kindly save this 10,000 upfront. The moment you get it, take it away, as if you have not got it. Again, I tell you, it is tough but not impossible. But my dear sirs, we have to sacrifice something to get something. So please identify an amount of saving and then religiously do that saving every month without fail. Of course, Chakravarti sir, it is not easy, but it is not impossible at all. And I again repeat, it can be done provided we have a commitment and promise with ourselves that I want to be prosper. For that commitment, you will do that, I know. So identify amount of saving and then religiously saving it upfront. And second thing about saving, Mr. Roy, is kindly keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Again, it is possible. Of course, tough task, but possible in the sense, Majumdar sir, we all know that we get increment when we have salary. We get some allowances increase. Our income keep increasing every year. So with the increase in income, we should keep our savings increase every year. Suppose this year, Manish sir, you are saving 10,000 a month. Ideally, next year it should be 11,000 a month. And next third year, it should be 12,000 a month. Of course, practically you say it sounds tough. But again, I repeat, it is not impossible. We can do it. So two things you do about this, because saving, Majumdar sir has just mentioned in his slides, saving is fundamental to your prosperity. Because if we don't save, then forget about every other things. Then better we should not talk about the investment. Because what we will invest in only saving we have done. So first prime source of prosperity is your savings. This is the first step for prosperity. But sir, Chakravarti sir, it is the first step only. And if you stop at the first step, better don't save. Enjoy your life. Because that is only first step. You have to go to the second step as well. And what is second step? That I should through a process, put my savings, number one, into acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. And or in some financial instrument, which will give us a regular and periodical return in future. The process of putting your savings into the acquisition of some asset or in financial instrument, Chakravarti sir, you know it very well. It is called investment. So saving is the first step, investment is the second step. They are both complementary, because if you don't save, from what you will invest? Of course, saving is a must, but then you should not stop at saving, because if you stop at saving, I again repeat, better not to save. Enjoy your life. So save it and then invest it. Save it and invest it. And why we invest? Chakravarti sir, can you tell me why we are so worried, so much worried about the saving and investment all the time? Because Majumdar sir knows it very well. We know it very distinctly clear that for future needs, my future income will not suffice. If it is there, then why we should save and invest? Because I have got a lot of family obligations, lot of desires to take care of. For that, all those things, my future income will not suffice. That is why I save today. I sacrifice a lot of things today for my future. So please save and invest. And very honestly speaking, I know Majumdar sir was mentioning in his lecture that he's not an investor, but directly, indirectly, sir, we are all investors. Those who are savers are in that, because we are putting our money somewhere. One or other form, we are putting our money. So we are all savers and investors. But unfortunately, Chakravarti sir, unfortunately, and I don't know whether Majumdar sir will agree with me or not. Unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person, and I feel why I'm taking name again and again, middle class, salary class person, because a good number of participants are from that category only. Unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person, Majumdar sir, you should understand it very carefully. Unfortunately, despite our sincere efforts in saving and investments in our life, most of us just remain money accumulators. We don't become wealth creators. And my dear participants, prosperity will come only and only through wealth creation, not through money accumulation. You must understand this very, very distinctly and clearly, that if you want to be prosper, you have to create wealth. You have to be wealth creator. And typically, how wealth creation will be done, Uday Shankar sir, Chakravarti sir? Normally, we are very much conscious about salary, increase in salary, increments, promotions, right? Absolutely right. But we normally forget one aspect, Majumdar sir, that is, my money should also earn money for me. That we normally don't discuss. Arey baba, increment milna chahiye, acha promotion hona chahiye, that we talk about all the time. That is, of course, important aspect, because only then you will keep increasing your savings. But your money should also earn money for me. That is second aspect of, or rather important source of your wealth creation. And we hardly give importance to that. And my whole session and my whole impression upon all of you is to kindly think about second aspect only. Your money must also earn money for me. Because typically, Majumdar sir, I keep telling in my sessions that if you have 2 kids in your family, there is a possibility, of course, possibility I'm talking about, they may not take care of you. But the third child that I killed, this money earned for money, this is your third child, Dr. Chakravarti. This third child will never ditch you, rest assured. He or she will take care of, best care of you, but only when you take care of him at the initial stages. So we are all, most of us are money accumulators. We are not wealth creators. And just a small distinction, I want you people to, particularly students, to understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And for that, Dr. Chakravarti, kindly allow me to take your name again. In a simple example, I want to share with all of you, that is bank fixed deposit. It is one of form of investment, Majumdar sir, and conventional form of investment rather. purchase of gold and bank FD is the most conventional form of investment for the middle class, salary class person. And hardly, very few have come out of that, because there are no unconventional means are also available now, at least. So we should also think of that, but okay, stick to the example only. Suppose Dr. Chakravarti has got 1 lakh rupees with him. He goes with a bank FD for 1 lakh rupees. Present rate of interest is 6%. After 1 year, I just meet him and ask Dr. Chakravarti, what happened to your FD? Dr. Chakravarti is very happy. He's smiling. He answered with a smile, sir, I have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. And he's happy. And he ought to be happy, because he earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. When I again asked Dr. Chakravarti, sir, are you right? Dr. Chakravarti might got annoyed. Sir, what nonsense you are talking to me? I am absolutely right. You can see my passbook, I earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. Am I right? Dr. Chakravarti, you are right, but you are not right. Why you are not right? You are very happy to see 6,000 rupees in your bank account. But you unintentionally ignored two very important factors of while analyzing return on your investment. FD is also an investment. And what these factors are, Dr. Chakravarti? First factor is inflation. And nowadays, day in, day out, everywhere the whole discussion is inflation. Arey baba, petrol ka daam badh raha hai, groceries ka rate badh raha, everything, everywhere, even your staff room, the hot discussion might be of the inflation only. What is inflation? Simply speaking, Dr. Chakravarti, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Over a period of time. Suppose when you had 1 year FD, during 1 year, suppose the inflation rate has been 5%. What does it mean, Dr. Chakravarti? That had you not gone for FD last year, whatever you could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees, would you be able to purchase same item, same goods, same services after 1 lakh rupees at 1 lakh rupees, sir? It will not be possible. Because of inflation, Majumdar sir, the prices of those item goods have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5%. It simply means that for the same items which you could have purchased last year at 1 lakh rupees, after 1 year, you will need to spend 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, sir? So now you see the proposition, you were very happy when you got 6,000 rupees at bank interest income, but in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Normally we ignore it. We are happy with whatever we got it. Second aspect is, most of the investment, Majumdar sir knows it very well, most of the investment return and income is taxable under income tax. Most of them. Of course, rates might vary, but most of them are taxable, except some governmental tax-free schemes. There are few and far that we will discuss afterwards if the time permits us. So on bank FDs, Dr. Chakravarti, you might not be aware. Whatever you earn as bank interest on your FD, you are liable to pay income tax as per your slab. There is no exemption. That 10,000 exemption, Majumdar sir might be knowing, it is around for your SB account only, savings bank account only. On FD income, whatever you earn, you are liable to pay income tax. Suppose you are in 20% bracket, then on 6,000, you will need to pay 20% income tax as well. That is 1,200. And now, sir, one more thing is there, Majumdar sir knows it very well. In my time, at least, such income people will hardly include in their income tax. Let it be. Who will come from income tax department to collect this income tax? But now, sir, because of technology, all such information is automatically available with the income tax department. We can't avoid it now. Now you see the proposition, Chakravarti sir, you were very happy when you earned 6,000. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. 1,200 you have paid as income tax. Did anything remain with you? No, sir. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. This is the hard fact of our life. So, what I want to convey here is, if my investment doesn't earn any real return, I'm underlying the word real return, better not to invest, better not to save. Because it will simply be increasing in number only. That's all. So I take this example forward. Suppose, sir, Chakravarti sir, suppose the interest rate is 8%, presume it 8%. In that scenario, you will earn 8,000 as bank interest income. Again, keeping inflation 5% out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation. Again, 20% income tax means 1,600 of 8,000. You will need to pay as income tax. But even after that, there remains 1,400. That 1,400 is your real return. Kindly mind it. That 1,400 is your real return. That 1,400 is your real return. And my dear participants, Manish Roy sir and Chakravarti sir, at least I can't give any suggestion to Majumdar sir, but at least to young investors, I can say, unless and until you earn some real return on your investment, you are not going to create wealth. And without creating wealth, you can't be prosperous. So kindly understand it. Kindly understand it. We have to earn some real return on our investment. And the formula of real return is very simple. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, minus tax liability. So kindly always make sincere efforts to earn some real return, maybe 1%, maybe 2%, maybe 5%, but you have to earn some real return on your investment. Then what is the problem? Why most of us are in no position to earn real return on our investments? Dr. Chakravarti sir, definitely you will ask me, what is the reason? Yes, just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Yeah. So why it is so, Majumdar sir, that most of us don't earn real return on investments? There is a reason, sir. And that region, Dr. Chakravarti, not lies outside somewhere else. The region lies in our mind. What is the reason? Majumdar sir might agree with me. We don't want to take any risk. Arey Baba, risk ki baat mat karo. No. When somebody talks about the risk, Chakravarti sir say, sir, stop it here, sir. We don't want to take any risk. Tell us something about safe investment. But unfortunately, I don't know, Chakravarti sir or Manish Roy sir, you will agree with me or not. The word safe investment is an illusion. Because in most of the investment risk is there, except some governmental scheme. Degree of risk might vary from high to low to moderate, but risk is there. So kindly accept at the beginning itself, Chakravarti sir and Manish Rai sir, in investment risk is there. But because once you accept, only there may be way out of handling risk. There is a way out of managing risk. There is a way out of minimizing risk. Yes, there is. Yes, now I can give you confidence, my dear participants. There is a distinct way of managing our risk and minimize our risk, but at the same time, mind it, risk can never be zero, sir. Some degree of risk will always be there in most of the investment products. So how we can manage our risk? How we can minimize our risk? I am sharing you very simple 2-word formula, Dr. Chakravarti. Very simple. मजूमदार सर को शायद हंसी भी आएगी कि छोटी सी बात आप क्या बता रहे हैं. Yes, it is a fact. Very simple formula. And the formula is think, understand and invest. सोचकर समझकर निवेश का, to be in Hindi, I want to make it clear. सोचकर समझकर निवेश का. Very simple 2 words. First word I have used, Dr. Chakravarti, is think. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. Number 1, my risk appetite. That is very important. My risk appetite, and Mr. Manish Roy, every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual. Dr. Manish has got different one, Chakravarti has got different one, Majumdar has got different one. I have got, because our income is different, we are in the different age group, our family obligations are different. So all these things, risk appetite is very, very important. How much risk appetite I have. And Chakravarti sir, risk appetite of every individual is not an stagnant feature. It keeps changing with the age. It keeps changing in the age. And that is why I keep emphasizing in my session, Manish Roy sir, for you and Dr. Chakravarti, those who are young, their risk-taking capacity is relatively much higher than the persons like of me or even Majumdar sir. Because you have started earning, but your liabilities are relatively lesser. You might have not even married. If married, children are not there, children very small, well, kids are there. So you can save as much as you can, and even you can take some risk in the sense that if something goes wrong, you have got 25, 30 years to go. You can make it right. But I don't have that luxury. I don't have that luxury. If something goes with me, I am ruined. That is why I keep telling my young participants, kindly analyze your risk, save as much as you can in your first phase, that is 25 to 40 years. Try to focus on the maximizing real return on your investment. And your whole focus should be on real return on your investment, maximum real return on your investment, even by taking some risk, but that risk has to be calculated. That risk has to be as per your risk appetite. So first thing is, you have to think about your risk appetite while taking investment decision. Second one is, time horizon of investment is equally important. Normally, we don't give credence to such things. बाबा पैसा आया लगा दिया हमने कहीं. मनीष राय सर को कहीं से बोनस मिला है, पैसा कहीं किसी ने बता दिया, I just keep sending it. Normally we do it. But Dr. Chakravarti, we will need money not in one go in our life. We will need money at different intervals for milestones in our life. That is why time horizon of investment is equally important. And here I again repeat, I should have money when I need it. And I will need money not in one go in my life, Dr. Chakravarti. For a lot of things, at a lot of times I will need money. And for that, Manish Rai, again, sir, I'm just request you to and give you a very small request from my side to at least to young investor like Dr. Chakravarti. I'm not limiting by taking your name. I am not limiting to yourself. All young participants, all young investors. Don't take it that way that I'm talking to only Manish Roy sir and Dr. Chakravarti only. I'm talking to all young investors. Next Sunday, kindly spare 1 hour for me, Dr. Chakravarti and Dr. Manish Roy. Give me 1 hour. Don't worry, I'm not coming to your home, but I want your 1 hour. In the sense that you request your family members to be with you. They should sit with you. You take a paper and 1 pen. Make 3 columns on the paper. First column, second column, and third column. In the first column, you just jot down the milestones in your life after discussion with the family. And what are the common milestones? Majumdar sir knows it very well. Marriage is the first milestone in our life. After that, birth of the children, celebration naturally. After some time, purchase of the house for the family, very natural. Every family will have their own house. Then purchase of the 4-wheeler if you not have got so far. Then Vacation has also become very important milestone, Majumdar sir, nowadays. If Dr. Chakravarti and Manish Rai don't go out of their place, their family will force them like anything. Baba, people are visiting South India, Gujarat, and then Maharashtra, out of country, and you are stick to your place only. It is a very natural nowadays. So vacation has also become very important milestone. Then after some years, your children are grown up, then higher education and professional income, professional course for them is very important milestone for middle class, salary class person. Once their education is over, marriage of the children is the next milestone. And last milestone, Dr. Chakravarti, very important milestone is living life in retirement. That is very, very important milestone. We were very lucky, honestly speaking. We were in government setup. We used to, we are getting pension, reasonable pension, we are living life okay. But now, Dr. Chakravarti and Manish Roy, sir, you know it very well. Pension is no more available to the, even any state government and central government has get out of this pension concept, because government can't afford paying pension. That's the only reason pension was discarded. It was very necessary for them to take away this facility. But had they continued, government would have bankrupt. I am using the word because I was in the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, when this process went on for 10 long years. Lot of committees were set up. Every committee came up with the distinct recommendation: stop it pension. Otherwise, government will have no money for development. All money will go in paying salary to the employees and pension. That is why pension. So nowadays, the pension is not available to you. So how you will survive in the retirement life, sir? Normally, what we do, we accumulate huge amount for the retirement life, including we get some superannuation benefit as well, gratuity, leave encashment, all these things. We all put together, deposit somewhere, get some regular income, and we survive. Am I right, Majumdar sir? This is the normal course of living retirement life. So put the milestones in the first column. Now in the second column, against each milestone, Chakravarti sir, start putting the period when this will happen in your life. Suppose somebody say that I am not married, I am likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years. Likewise, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. We start putting a period against each milestone. And now very important thing, Manish Roy sir, I am telling you. In the third column, against each milestone, start putting the money you will need against each milestone. Suppose you say that you are not married, but you will need minimum 5 lakhs for your marriage, put it 5 lakhs. Likewise, but two very important milestone I want to discuss it little bit detail. Of course, I know time is running out, and Manish Roy sir might have started looking at his watch. Next time, if something left out, we will take next session, no problem. So still we have got 20-25 minutes, I feel. So two important milestone, Dr. Chakravarti, I want to discuss with you. One of the most important milestone is higher education and professional education of children. That is, Majumdar sir will agree with me. It is one of the most important milestone in our middle class, salary class life. Dr. Chakravarti, a good MBA degree today costs around 20 lakhs. From a good management institute, it costs around 20 lakhs. Have you ever dreamed when your children will grown up and go for higher education after 20 years, 25 years, how much money you will need for their higher education? The same MBA degree which is costing around 20 lakhs today, Chakravarti sir, it will cost not less than 2 crore rupees per child because of the inflation. So if you have 2 children, you will need not less than 4 crore rupees for your higher education of children only. Then for marriage again, not less than 1 crore rupees. And then the last one is retirement plan. As you don't have pension, you will need to have huge corpus for retirement planning. Dr. Manish Roy sir, if your age is 30 today and you say that my monthly expenses I can manage with 30,000, I give you one figure, sir. After 30 years, when you become 60, how much you will need for your monthly expenses? And Dr. Majumdar, sir, only for the same standard of living, no extravaganza. For the same standard of living after 30 years, Mr. Roy, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. Will literally means 25 lakhs a year. From where that money will come? Only source for you will be some interest or income from your retirement corpus. How much your retirement corpus then you should develop? A thumb rule is there, sir. You should develop retirement corpus minimum of 20 times of your annual expenses. Suppose your annual expenses are 25 lakhs at that time when you get 60, Mr. Roy. Multiply it by 20. How it becomes? Use 5 crore rupees. Minimum 5 crore rupees corpus you should develop only for your retirement. Only for your retirement. Put it 5 crore rupees in against retirement. Now I want to get you scary, sir. Yes, I want you to be. Make the total of the last column. And you will be surprised that a normal middle class person, Majumdar sir, who is around 30 today, will need 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestones only. Forget about the regular expenses from 30 to 60. That I have not included. From where that 10 to 12 crore rupees will come, Mr. Roy? You might get ancestral property, or you may go to KBC with Amitabh Bachchan, earn 7 crore rupees. But that's how many of us will win? Maybe 1 or 2. Normal middle class, salary class person will need 10 to 12 crore rupees for their milestones only. And now I want to emphasize you all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees. This confidence now I want to give you. You all can have, provided you start working right from today, sincerely about your savings and investments. That's the only precondition, Mr. Manish Roy. Whatever has gone is gone. Forget about that. From today onwards, you should think about your savings and investment in a true sense, as we discussed. And the chart which we have prepared, Majumdar sir, this chart is called financial plan. And I keep emphasizing in my session, Dr. Chakravarti, every family must have their financial plan. Every family. And financial plan is not a rocket science. Rest assured, it is a damn easy thing. We have just discussed. Sit with your family, make out the chart, first column, second column, and third column, and make the chart. Because once financial plan is there, Dr. Chakravarti, then the targets are clear. Requirement of money is clear. Time horizon is clear. And psychologists say, Majumdar sir might agree with me, psychologists say that those individuals who have got clear targets in their life, they are better placed to achieve those targets because they will work hard for those achieving those targets. That is why I keep telling, please have financial plan for your family. So second thing you have to think about is your time horizon of investment. And the second word I have used is understand. Understand simply means you have to understand the product where you are investing. And from which perspective? From the perspective of your risk appetite. Suppose you have got a typical risk appetite. You should broadly analyze that product, whether that product broadly matches with your risk profile of the product broadly matches with your product, with your risk profile. If it matches, then you can invest. Likewise, products should also match your time horizon of investment. Majumdar sir, one product is very good. Suppose one product is very good, but that product will start giving return after 10 years. You need money after 5 years. Product is very good, but not suitable for you because your time horizon, you should select the product which will give you return within 5 years. So understand the product very carefully. And one more thing I want to tell about the investment is rule of compounding. Manish Roy, sir, rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world. And this I am not saying. The greatest ever scientist, Albert Einstein, had mentioned it. And rule of compounding in investment, simply speaking, Dr. Chakravarti, you have to make a promise with yourself. Again, tough but not impossible. I am giving you a lot of tasks which are tough but not impossible. You have simply to make a promise with yourself, Manish Roy, sir, that in your life, whenever and whatever return or income you earn on your investments, you will never use those income for your celebration or for your family obligation or for vacation for that matter. What you have to simply do, you have to simply club that return or income with your regular investment and do it and reinvest it. That's the simple premise you have to motivate. Of course, again, because when you will get returns, Dr. Chakravarti, it will not be easy. Your family will be after you to going on vacations. Definitely it will be there. Dada, you have earned 5 lakh rupees as interest income. Oh, great. Let us go to a USA for change. That is very natural. But kindly we have to discipline ourselves that whatever and whenever, maybe 5,000 or maybe 5 lakhs, whatever and whenever we get returned, we will never use that return. We will simply club it with our regular investment and do it. And if we do it, Dr. Chakravarti, I can promise you with confidence, down the line after 15-20 years, your return portion will be much greater than your original investment. But that will not happen today. That will not happen tomorrow. It will take time. That is why investment always needs your patience. Investment always needs your patience. It is not something like you push the button and get the return and you are richer, you are prospered. No. For middle class, salary class person, Majumdar sir might agree with me, at least for us, it is a process. It is a long drawn battle. Sometimes it is a boring process, but we have to pass through the process because the ultimate result will give you a lot of satisfaction and happiness. So far what we have discussed is importance of security, sir, Chakravarti sir, 3 things: life insurance, health insurance, and emergency fund. Then we discussed the importance of savings, then conversion of saving into investment, then risk management. Then we thought about the time horizon of investment, financial plan, and lastly, rule of compounding. I don't know, Majumdar sir would be happy with me or not. Mr. Sharma, you have taken a lot of time in such basic things. But I feel, sir, these are the foundation stone of your success as far as investment is concerned. Last 10, 12, can I get 10 more minutes, Mr. Roy?
Yes, sir. Yes, you can, sir.
Last 10, 15 minutes. Sorry, I have grace period of 5 minutes as well.
Yeah, okay, sir. No problem, sir.
We will discuss where we can invest. What are the investment products available for all of us, for the middle class? The first category of investment product available for all of us is, Mr. Manish Roy, governmental small saving schemes. This is a category precisely beneficial to middle class, salary class person. And in that category, some few schemes are there. I don't have time, but one most important scheme I want to discuss here is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. I don't know, Majumdar sir had mentioned me that I am not an investor, but sir, at least you must have, I thought you should have a PPF, you have a PPF account, I feel. And if I'm not now giving any advice to Majumdar sir, but at least to Mr. Roy and Dr. Chakravarti and all other young investors, if you have not yet opened Public Provident account, please open it. Very good scheme of the Government of India, Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. It can be opened with any bank or post office. Most of the bank branches are now operating that scheme. It is a 15-year scheme But Chakravarti sir, it is extendable beyond 5-year period, 5 year, and then 5 years. So you can extend it beyond 5 years, beyond 15 years. Minimum deposit you can make in this scheme is 500 rupees, Mr. Roy, and maximum limit is 1.50 lakhs. Present rate of interest is 7.10% interest, which is not extraordinary, Majumdar sir, but reasonable, but with 100% security. That's the beauty of these schemes, that come what may, government has promised you to give you 7.10% interest, you will get it. And this interest is compounding every year. Every year it is clubbed with your principal, and next year you will get interest on interest as well. Two things I wish to request about this scheme, Dr. Chakravarti. If you have not opened it, first open it. Then sincerely try to deposit 1.50 lakhs, which is the maximum limit for 1 year, at the beginning of the financial year. That is in April itself. And that too before 1st to 5th April. Why I am telling you? Because if you deposit this amount between 1 to 5th April, Dr. Chakravarti, you will get interest for the whole year. But because of any reason, you are not in a position to deposit 1.5 lakhs in one go, and you are depositing every month or in tranches, then whenever you deposit any amount in the PPF account, Dr. Roy, you should deposit it before 5th of the month. Why? Because you will earn interest for the whole month. But if you deposit even on 6th, you will not earn the interest for that. These are very small things, Majumdar sir, but it will reflection on your total amount of PPF accumulation over a period of time. So kindly, of course, income tax deduction is also allowed under section 80C. For that is the additional benefit only. Second government scheme is very brief now. I am just mentioning the name, National Savings Certificate, NSC, where you can invest. Third, you can get the details from the website. Third one is Kisan Vikas Patra, where you can invest. Fourth one is, Dr. Roy, I don't know whether you have girl child or not. God bless you. If you have, you don't have, you will have it down the line. Those who have girl child at their home, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, very good scheme of the government of India. When the moment you get the daughter child, if you have, do it this week itself. If you do, whenever you get it, open a account of that girl in Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Dr. Chakravarti, government of India has promised maximum return in this, maximum interest in this scheme, and even presently it is 7.60%, which is not at all available in other schemes. 7.60% interest, compounding every year. Minimum amount you can deposit it 250 rupees. Maximum is 1.50 lakhs. It is for a scheme for 21 years. When girl become 18, you can withdraw 50% of that amount for her education. And when she attain the age of 21, you can withdraw all amount for her marriage. Very good scheme of the, and you should open account if you have a girl child at your home. Maximum account you can open for your girls are 2. Only 2 girl child can be covered under this scheme. After that, government securities we can invest, sir, Dr. Chakravarti. Earlier, it was very difficult to invest, particularly for middle class, salary class person. But from December 2021 onwards, Dr. Chakravarti, you might have read in the newspaper, RBI has started a new portal. That name is RBI Retail Direct. RBI Retail Direct, which is a product where you can get registered yourself and then start investing a small amount in government securities. After that, RBI also keep issuing taxable and tax-free bond, Majumdar sir. If you both the options are available, if you can go, you want to go for RBI tax-free bonds or taxable bonds. And lastly, for government of India undertaking loans, government has started a new channel, that is Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. There also you can invest. All these schemes, other schemes are also there. Majorly I have covered. All these schemes are under the umbrella of governmental small saving scheme. And the beauty of these scheme, Majumdar sir, they may not give you extraordinary return, but there is no risk. No risk at all. Whatever government is promising, government will give it. And I personally feel, I don't know whether Majumdar sir will agree with me or not. I personally feel that a normal middle class, salary class person should invest 15 to 20% of their total investment in governmental scheme. Because that will give you a cushion of safety and risk and with reasonable return, of course. So these are government. After that, mind it, all other investment options have got risks, sir. Mind it. All other investment, but one thing is there. All other investments, though, do have got risk, but risk in products are different. Different at different times. So you kindly understand it very carefully. Then in all other investment of products, risk is there. But one thing I want to mention here, Majumdar sir, and Dr. Roy, have you seen about the horse race on the television or physically also you gone somewhere to see the horse race? In horse race, one golden rule is there. I don't know whether you have noted or not. The rule is you should not put all your money on single horse. Never, never, never. Because if that horse doesn't win, all your money goes. So what is the rule is? Try to spare your bet on different horses, 2, 3, 4 bases. If out of 3, 4 horses, anyone wins, at least you will have some money. The same rule applies on the investment as well, sir. Kindly develop a basket of investments. You should not put all your money in one in one investment, whatever best it might be. You try to spread your investment into different products, and you should try to develop a basket of investments. The second investment product available for all of us is property or real estate. And I am not expert in this. But if Dr. Chakravarti or any other your professor is expert, next time he can take a session on property investments. But in property investment, 2, 3 things I want to mention. First risk is there. Then you can make investment in property only with huge money, because you will have 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, only then you can invest somewhere, not 5 lakh or 10 lakhs. Secondly, uncertainty is there, how much return you will get. Then this asset class is treated as not an active asset class, because it will take time to dispose of the property. So sometime you may not be able to sell the property when you need the money, but still that option is there, and I leave it to you. Whatever you want to say, you can invest. Third option is where now I want to request, if any female members are available, female participants are there, if they can keep their video on for 2 minutes, I will be grateful. Third option is gold. And why I have told my female participants, you know, Dr. Chakravarti, because our female family members have got a fascination about gold. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi. I need not show here the importance of gold. You know it better. But historically, we have been investing in physical gold, Dr. Meenakshi. Historically, we have been purchasing jewelry, we have been purchasing coins, but now the time has changed, my dear participants. Better you should go ahead. Now digital investment is gold is also available. And for that, Dr. Meenakshi, I am not marketing any private scheme. I am just mentioning one government scheme. That name is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Kindly note it down. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Majumdar sir, it is one of the best scheme government has devised for the middle class, salary class person. In this scheme, you can invest minimum 1 gram gold price and maximum 4 kg gold. The scheme is for 8 years. government is giving you two benefits, Dr. Chakravarti. First is 2.5% annual return payable half yearly. This is the first benefit government will give you. Come what may, you will get 2.5% return on your investment. Second one is, apart from 2.5%, whatever the appreciation in the gold price. Suppose today invest in the gold and gold price is 50,000, Dr. Meenakshi. And after 8 years, suppose the gold price become 80,000. Then the difference between 80,000 and 50,000, that is 30,000 will also be paid to you. And if you remain in the scheme for 8 full years, Dr. Meenakshi, there will hardly be any tax liability, minimum tax liability. But if you want to sell after 3 years, then of course you might have to pay some tax on early redemption and all these things. And this scheme is applicable online and offline both. And Dr. Meenakshi, government is encouraging you to go for the online investment only. And for that, government is additionally giving you 50 rupees discount if you go on online investment. So this is a very good scheme of the government of India. And Dr. Majumdar sir, I feel personally, now the time has come that we should move ahead from physical investment in physical gold to digital gold. Because you need not to purchase the gold. Now, at least young girl, Dr. Meenakshi, you might be fascinating about the gold, but your daughter may not be. Your daughter-in-law may not be. It is a fact of life. So they are more interested in digital form of investment. And apart from sovereign gold bond, ETF gold schemes are also available. In mutual fund also some schemes are available. And lastly, last option is security market where we can invest. But Majumdar sir, when I start talking about the security market, 2-3 messages might come in the chat box. And I said, don't talk about the security market. This is sheer satta bajari. This is sheer speculation. We don't know how the prices go up. Every day market goes up, goes down. A lot of movements in the market. We don't understand. Yes, they are right. And my personal advice to all the young investors, particularly Dr. Roy and Chakravarti sir, if you don't have knowledge of the market, don't invest into the market directly. This is my personal opinion. Never, because now people have started going into direct market trading. They do every day. They start. No, it is very dangerous. They go for future and options even, which is a very dangerous thing. I feel, particularly for a normal middle class person. My opinion, Dr. Meenakshi, is very simple and clear. You should not invest into security market directly unless and until you have got knowledge of the market, you have knowledge of the economy, you have got knowledge of the sectors, you have knowledge of the corp, and it requires a lot of time, Majumdar sir. It also requires a lot of time to research and understand the concepts. The other option available for the security market investment, Dr. Meenakshi, is mutual funds where we can invest even when we don't have knowledge. But again, I'm not saying I'm not propagating or promoting mutual fund, but basic things, 2-3 minutes I will mention what mutual fund is. Mutual fund is nothing, Dr. Meenakshi, but you are giving your money to the fund managers, those who are experts. You are not directly investing. You are giving, naturally you will ask, Dr. Meenakshi, I'm doctorate, I'm PhD, why I should give money go to others? Because you might not have knowledge of the market, they people have. They are experts of the market. They live in the market 24 hours. They know intricacies of the market movements. They can visualize something better than us. And their investment decision, Dr. Majumdar sir, they are not God. No, not. But their investment decisions are most likely to be better than us. Only because of the fact that they have got knowledge, they have got the experience, they live in the market. So we are giving our money to them to invest into the security market and beyond and give us return. So Majumdar sir, in mutual fund purpose and is very clear. It is not a social service. I am giving my money to the experts. My dear expert, take this money. In the scheme I am invested, maximize my return. Maximize my return. This is the whole purpose. But unfortunately, Dr. Chakravarti, I don't know whether you are aware or not, people feel that mutual fund means security market only. Normally the perception is like that only, that mutual fund simply means, no sir, it is wrong perception. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money into gold. Meenakshi ma'am. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money in government securities. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money in real estate and property. And my dear friends, there are schemes in the mutual fund where your money will be invested into international corporates even. Sitting at your home, Chakravarti sir, you can participate in the shares of Amazon, Google, Facebook. That facility is also available in India through mutual funds. But majority of the mutual fund scheme, of course, I appreciate for relate to security market only. There are three categories of schemes in the mutual fund. One is, I don't have time rather, otherwise mutual fund itself will take not less than 2 hours. Well, anyway, no problem. Whatever minimum I can minimize, I am trying. There are three categories of mutual fund investment. One is equity fund. In equity fund, Dr. Chakravarti, your money will be invested into the equity shares of the corporate. Mind it. And when your money is invested into equity shares, definitely equity shares are prices go up and down every day. So risk is greater. But chances of getting higher return is also there. So those who can take risk, higher risk, and those who have got a longer horizon, like Dr. Chakravarti and like Dr. Manish Roy, not like me and Dr. Meenakshi, those who have got longer horizon of minimum 5 years, then maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you should better go for the investment into equity funds. Second category is debt fund, Meenakshi ma'am, that is suitable for you and me. In that fund, your money will be given not will be invested not in the equity share, Dr. Majumdar. Your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. And when a loan is given to the corporates, Dr. Meenakshi, risk is relatively lesser. Relatively, I am talking about lesser, but return is also reasonable. There cannot be extraordinary return. So those who are satisfied with reasonable return with lesser risk, that fund is the category for them. And third category is hybrid fund. In hybrid funds, a portion of your money goes, Dr. Majumdar, into equity fund, and a portion of your money goes into debt fund. So what you are typically doing, you are expiring relatively higher return, but at the same time managing your risk as well. So a hybrid fund is suitable for the person who want to aspire little bit higher return, but with lesser risk. So these three categories are there, and there are two plans: direct plan and regular plan. Direct plan means you visit the website directly, sir, but Dr. sir, select the scheme and invest. In regular plan, you will need to take the help of the mutual fund distributor duly registered with Amfi. They will come to you naturally. They will help you out, but for that help, definitely they will get some commission or fees, and that commission or fees will go out of your investment or return. So in regular plan, your return will always be lesser as compared to direct plan. So it is up to you to decide. The magic of the mutual fund, Dr. Chakravarti, is SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. That is indeed magic. Dr. Meenakshi, it may not be suitable for you because of age only, sorry. But for young investors, people like Dr. Manish Roy and Dr. Chakravarti, SIP is a magic. SIP simply means recurring account. We might have opened recurring account in bank and post offices. Simply means that we are investing a small amount or a fixed amount every year in a particular scheme. But the magic is, Dr. Chakravarti, that over a period of time, if you start investing over a period of time through SIP, you can be surprised to have a very good corpus over a period of time. And I give you one simple example. I am not naming the mutual fund company, Dr. Majumdar, nor I am mentioning the scheme, because that will be indirect marketing of them. So it will be unfair on my part to mention that scheme. But facts are there. Dr. Chakravarti, kindly note it down. Facts are there. These are the facts. It is not a story. It is not, which I am telling you. It is a fact of the, but I am not mentioning the mutual fund company and a scheme. One mutual fund company started an equity fund in 1995. Dr. Meenakshi, when you happen to be quite young, of course you are still young, I am not saying, but in 1995, a mutual fund company started an equity fund, and an smart investor like Dr. Meenakshi started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month. Kindly kindly understand what I am saying. In 1995, one mutual fund AMC started an equity fund, and a smart investor like Dr. Meenakshi started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month. Means she is investing 10,000 rupees per month in that equity scheme right from 1991. And Dr. Chakravarti, she is continuing investing right from 1995, every month 10,000 rupees, every month. And she had not stopped even for a single month. That's the beauty of the things. Otherwise, typically what happened, Dr. Majumdar sir, when market goes up, people start investing. But when market goes down, people get scary. Arey Baba, they withdraw their money. They get the redemption. No, that is the blunder we all do. But Dr. Meenakshi did not do it. What she do? She continued investing. And during that period from 1995 to 2022, Dr. Chakravarti, market might have gone up, lot of times, market might have gone down, lot of times, lot of turbulence in the market even. But she continued investing 10,000 rupees per month through SIP till March 2022. Dr. Meenakshi, can you tell me what the corpus has become today? Of course, she will not tell us. But I can tell you, Dr. Meenakshi has now got a corpus of 9.57 crore. 9.57 crore. That's the beauty of SIP. Again, I am not marketing mutual fund, but I am sharing you a fact that if you are a long-term investor, Dr. Majumdar, I am telling to young investors, if you are a long-term investor, if you start investing a very, very small amount, but regularly and for a longer period, there would be good or rather huge corpus you can develop over a period of time. And Dr. Chakravarti, now I know a lot of my friends who have started more than one SIP. That is target-oriented SIP. One SIP for going vacation. Second SIP for acquisition of house. Third SIP for higher education of children for 25 years. Fourth SIP for marriage of the children. Fifth SIP for their retirement plan. So you can have more than one SIP. That facility is also available. And nowadays on the websites, SIP calculators are available, Dr. Chakravarti. Suppose you say that I will need 4 crore rupees for higher education of my children up to 25 years. So you have a target of 4 crore. You have a period 25 years. Put that figure into the SIP calculator. SIP calculator will give you broad idea how much SIP you should start today. That facility is also available. Last thing about mutual fund, of course, I'm trying to squeeze as much as I can. Otherwise, a lot of things I can share with you. Next time when Dr. Chakravarti or Dr. Manish Roy will give you time, we will have a dedicated session on mutual fund for 2 hours minimum. Last thing is SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan. It is opposite of SI. I don't know whether Dr. Meenakshi has gone. Chakravarti sir, it might be beneficial to you as well. SWP means Systematic Withdrawal Plan. It is opposite of SIP. In SWP, we regularly withdraw money from our corpus, which we have developed over a period of time. And that is basically meant for your retirement life, Dr. Meenakshi. Suppose I am retired today. I don't have a pension, but I have developed a huge corpus of 5 crore rupees for my retirement plan. What I can do, Dr. Chakravarti, I can simply write a one-line mail or a letter to the mutual fund company where I have corpus. kindly keep transferring this much, maybe 1 lakh, maybe 2 lakh, whatever you want, this much of amount from my corpus to my bank account on first every month. They will do it because that is your money ultimately. So first benefit with Dr. Meenakshi will be, I will be having reasonable money at my disposal every month at the beginning of the month. I can enjoy my life as I was enjoying earlier. And second benefit is, whatever corpus remains with them, balance corpus, that is generating return for you continuously. So over a period of time, suppose after 10 years, your requirement becomes increased from 1 lakh to 2 lakhs rupees, you can easily do it because your corpus has increased because of the continuous in investment. So as WP is a facility available in mutual fund, particularly for your retirement life. But for that, again, I repeat, you will need to develop huge corpus for you for retirement life. Last two things I want to tell you. One thing, Dr. Meenakshi, I want your blessings because unfortunately in our country, Dr. Chakravarti, one menace is going on. Majumdar sir, particularly in Bengal, Assam, Punjab, that is Ponzi scheme, cheat fund and committees. You have got lot of scams. I need not name them. You all know it. These are all bogus schemes. People will come to you, they will promise you higher return, they will promise you doubling your money in 3-4 years, but it will never happen, sir. It will never happen. They will simply vanish with your money. And I know Dr. Majumdar will not invest. I know Dr. Meenakshi will not invest. I know Dr. Chakravarti and Roy will, because we are all educated person. Who mostly invest in those schemes, Dr. Majumdar, sir? Those who are not so educated class of the society. Your peon, your driver, your milk vendor, your taxi vendor, your rickshaw wala, majority of them, they invest because they go for temptation. Arey baba, mera paisa double ho jayega. It will never happen. So Dr. Majumdar sir, you are based in Assam and all the other participants are based in West Bengal. I will request you with folded hands, kindly start a campaign through your students across your area to educate as much people as you can. The simple request awareness is they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, cheat fund and committees. If they don't have any idea, forget about everything. If they don't have any idea, they should simply put their money in bank or post office. At least their money will be safe. They will not, they may not get a good return, but at least their money. So kindly start a campaign. And last thing I want to request to all the participants, again, through Dr. Meenakshi only, or Dr. Meenakshi plus Dr. Majumdar. This request I want to make, or rather, it is not a request, Majumdar sir. It is an assertion. And assertion is, prosperity is your right. Prosperity is your right. We should assert it. Every individual has got right to be prosperous. We might have born into a poor family, Dr. Chakravarti. Incidentally, that is sheer incident. We might have born into a poor family, but we must not remain as poor and we must not die as poor. And that we can absolutely do through the process which we have discussed today. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for details discussion on this today's topic, for giving an excellent coverage. We really have learned a lot from your words, and thank you very much for making excellent presentation and making this seminar interesting and meaningful. Lots of idea we have got, and I also would like to inform you that, sir, I am also SEBI MPanel resource person. And also,
great,
yeah,
great.
Okay, and also a trainer of NCFE. So I usually conducted programs in different areas under different stakeholders. So I also inspired with your speech because almost 10 to 12 webinar I attended, and there also I get so much knowledge from your words, and I apply how I can make the people, convince them how to invest their money, how to manage their personal finance, and all this thing information I shared with them. So thank you very much. for making this wonderful session. Now,
I will I will request Dr. Majumdar if you for his observation. I will feel obliged.
Oh, sir, Sharma ji, it was so nice to hear from you. We are basically laymen or ordinary people. As teachers, researchers, and definitely student of economics. I never had commerce, so I don't know accounting, auditing, and so on. But your explanation was so lucid. And the main focus, I think, the beginning part, that is rely on government securities, rely on government banking system, and rely on the government facilities to make our assets grow. That I think all middle class people, low income people, students, newcomers to the workplace, every youngster is going to be motivated from what you said, and gradually then you went up the risk ladder, slowly and slowly and slowly you went up the risk ladder, and finally you presented. Yes, so your beginning part was not for all, but later on as you proceeded, then you made something for the creamy layer, those who have wealth and those who are willing to take risk and multiply their income. The time compounding idea was such a great idea. Most economics and commerce students present today would definitely be motivated from what you said today. And yes, sir, I am personally heavily indebted to the way you presented the case, because still at the end of the day, we are laymen, we are teachers, we are faculty people, and we hardly have any experience in the real field. That is, from the investors or savers perspective, we don't view the picture. We actually can't view the picture because we are not in that profession. So, sir, yes, it was great. It was great and so nice to hear from you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dr. Meenakshi, I would be grateful if you also kindly give your observation, because you are such a senior teacher. Dr. Meenakshi, Dr. Sabjar, kindly unmute him. Yeah, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello,
ma'am.
sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Really very wonderful session, sir. Very informative session, sir. I'm a commerce professor of Government First Grade Women's College, Bailhongal, Belgaum District, Karnataka, sir.
Oh, great, great.
Yes, sir. Really wonderful session, sir. I learned a lot from your session, sir. Really, sir. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And now,
Thank you.
any question from any participant? I'm happy. Yes, sir.
I request our participant, please ask your question if you have to our speakers. Sir, there are some question in the chat box also.
Yeah,
sir,
please,
if you allow
please,
me, then
please.
we can
Yes,
read it out.
yes.
So,
or additionally, any participant can directly raise their hand and ask the question.
Please, you can unmute and raise your question. Sir, there is a question from Supriyo Majumdar, sir. So he is asking, is there any institution which can make the people financially literate? Because financial literacy is very important for financial empowerment. So,
my dear Roy, you are the part of the NCFE.
Yes,
so this is one of the institutions which have taken this task of financially educating students particularly.
Yes.
And for others, I am available, SEBI officers are available, NISM, you might be aware, SEBI started an institution, NISM, National Institute of Security Market, where SEBI has invested 400 rupees, 400 crores rupees. So lot of online and offline courses are available of NISM. I will urge your students kindly visit the website of NISM, opt the courses, online and offline courses, and complete those courses, because that will increase your scalability or your employability. Because Majumdar said, now typically what happens, industry has a lot of problems getting employable people. Otherwise, there are lakhs of people, crores of people seeking employment. But at the same time, There are industries said we are not finding suitable people. So there is a gap. That gap has to be filled. And that gap can be filled by a specialized institutions like NISM. That is why SEBI has started this NISM, and SEBI has invested more than 400 crore rupees for making students employable in security market.
Okay, so is there any other question? Please, you may ask.
May I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you have explained regarding mutual fund, invest of mutual fund. Sir, is it possible to invest anytime in any bank in mutual fund?
Yes, you can invest at any time in any mutual fund scheme, sir. And top of it, you might not be aware, redemption is also very easy. Getting money is also very easy. Within 3 days, you can get your money back. And one more uniqueness is there, sir. Suppose you have got a one bank FD and of 1 lakh rupees, and after 6 months, suppose you need 50,000, Dr. Majumdar. Then what bank manager will tell you? Sir, break the FD, get 50,000 and make a new FD of 50,000. But in mutual fund, it is not so. Even a fraction of your corpus, you can withdraw at any time. Suppose you have got a corpus now of 5 lakhs. You need 1 lakh. Simply write to them that I need 1 lakh rupees. They will make a redemption of units valuing rupees 1 lakh. So that facility is a unique facility. You will not need to break all your corpus. You can withdraw whatever money you want, and maximum time for redemption is 3 days, sir. Within 3 days, you can get redemption in your bank account, and all each through banking channel only. No black money, not a single penny you can invest in mutual fund through cash. Mind it. If anybody is encouraging you to give him cash and he will invest it, he is befooling you. No, in security market, in mutual fund, it is not possible at all. Even a single penny you can't invest beyond banking channel.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So is there any other question by the participant? You can unmute yourself. Okay.
No problem.
So,
Dr. Roy, either my session has been up to mark, or people don't have any any questions. That things might be in between even.
Yeah. Okay, so now I would like to invite Dr. Namani Gupta sir, Assistant Professor of Asgard College and co-convener of today's webinar, for his concluding speech. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Monish Rai. So in the concluding remarks, there is a concluding remarks, and we have many speakers, and all the speakers explain regarding mutual fund, regarding financial management, regarding financial literacy very nicely. We are very gratitude to all. From the very beginning, I may explain, that is in the first speaker, Dr. Niranjan Rai from Assam University, explain, specially given emphasis about financial literacy. It is very important, sir. You have explained financial literacy is very important. We must have to know. We must have to literate about finance. Without financial literacy, we cannot manage our money. We cannot invest properly. And without invest properly, it is quite impossible to develop ourselves and develop our society. Next speaker, our college speaker, that is Dr. Surya Majumdar. Surya Majumdar explain about the wealth, and he given importance of creation of wealth, because we know without wealth in our society, income will not be possible. So at first, it is very important to be creation of wealth, and he given importance for wealth creation. It is very vital I think next, Honorable Ritik Majumdar sir from Assam University, he given importance of financial stability, and it is very important that financial stability is very important, and he has given importance of financial stability, and he rightly point out that without the financial stability, family stability will not be possible, and it is very vital, I think, and we must have to give importance of financial stability. Without financial stability, our society and our country will also not be developed. Next speaker, that is from our principal, and from our principal also announced regarding financial stability, though he is a from political science background, but he nicely announced that financial stability is very important, and financial stability is, without financial stability, we cannot develop ourselves. Next speaker, that is very important speaker and eminent speaker, and I may say is a financial advisor, and financial advisor, he explained all the things very nicely, and I personally very benefited from his speech, and he explained about the various policy, that is a mediclaim policy, and endowment policy, and all this life insurance policy, which can cover our uncertain, or if we have any unforeseen extent of if we face, then only life insurance or mediclaim policy, that is, we have to face many various problem in hospital and such other institution also, and huge amount of money needs, and such huge amount of money can possible by financial that is from insurance policy, that is mediclaim policy, and he rightly give emphasis and advise us that we all must have to be, we must have to be a mediclaim policy. Each and every person must have a mediclaim policy. It is true, sir, because without mediclaim policy, we cannot solve huge amount of money if we face any problem in hospital and such other private hospital or such other institution. And he also explained about the mutual fund. It is very important that nowadays mutual fund, equity, share, it's a very contemporary thing, because if we know properly and if we invest, we can give idea to other person also, because without gathering knowledge of us, we cannot give idea to others. So it is very important to be a good idea for us at first, and we must have to give emphasis or we must have to give importance or aware to other student and other person also in our society, and it will helpful for all. So I think he is a so eminent person is financial advisor, and I may give commitment to him that in the from 1st April to 5th April, I will surely visit to post office and try to invest in PPF. Regarding PPF, he explained about PPF, and it is very important. I may give commitment that personally I very helpful from his speech, and I am waiting next program of mutual fund. It is also very contemporary. So I am not wasting too much time, because lots of time have already gone. So I may give thanks to all participants, because they have given all the things very nicely. Thank you, sir. Now I may say to Dr. Monish Rai.
Okay, thank you, sir. for highlighting the important points that have been discussed so far by the guest and resource person of today's program. So finally, we are at the end of today's program. So now I request Dr. Udashankar Chakraborty, IQAC coordinator of Asgard College, Katlichara, to propose for his vote of thanks. So over to you, sir.
Before Dr. Chakravarti, I on my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, I am thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity to interact with your students and faculty members. I am personally thankful to Dr. Ritik Majumdar sir and Dr. Meenakshi and other senior teachers who are the guiding factors, rather torchbearer for financial literacy in our country. I pray that we will work together, Dr. Majumdar sir, for such this mission in our country. And I am in a mission mode. I have so far organized more than 300 webinars across country during pandemic itself. So I want help from Dr. Majumdar, Dr. Meenakshi and other faculty members to take it forward. And it is purely a mission. We don't have any interest at all, rest assured. We are not interested that you invest in mutual fund, not at all. My mission is very simple. We should be aware of the importance of our money, how we can better manage our money. Thank you very much. And of course, special thanks to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for coordinating the event.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suryakant Sharma ji. Taking cue from all of you, I would like to propose the vote of thanks. First of all, big thank you to the Association of Mutual Funds in India, Amfi, for making this event possible for all of us. Secondly, I would like to thank